Hey everyone, welcome to ZSR. Today we have another Ocarina of Time randomizer race. This time we got Exodus versus Drooness. Very exciting match. Tracking today you got me and Veva, and on commentary we have KLO and Lefty, and they will take it from here.
Thank you for the introduction there, Baseball. Yes, Exodus versus Drew. It's going to be a good matchup today. Um, Drooness being seed. In a second, I had this page up somewhere. There we are, Drooness being seed 21 of 32 and Exodus at seed 12. This is part of group number 4 of our 4 groups. How are you today, Lefty?
I'm doing all right. I just woke up a little bit ago and slept in a little bit more than I wanted to. It's okay. I'm ready to go.
Yes, so the settings for Season 9, there is one random item start. It looks like today it's going to be the Bomb Bag. We have a Requiem start too, which is a nice free song.
That is really powerful. Yeah, a bomb bag and requiem, free song, and able to get all explosives on your first, like explosive checks on your first route through an area. That's gonna be real good. And Goron City spawn. All right.
It's an interesting spawn. Not in the Darunia room, so you can't do all of the checks straight away, but can do this one. And immediately we have a switch up with Drooness going to Requiem, and immediately an Exodus getting Hot Rudder first.
Waste. Did it say Wasteland 1? Oh, we got a Wasteland check.
I will just refresh the page and behind.
In bottom of the well in...
Yo.
Actually, that's bottom of the well right there. You just go right back in. What song are we getting? With Prelude. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, there's the school of thought. Personally, I hate going into well without Lullaby. Especially when you've got the rest of the game available.
I think in some circumstances I wouldn't do it, but because it's right here at the start of the game, and you have the bomb bag, I would just be inclined to check it right as fast as possible. But I guess that would just be me.
Yeah, you've got 3 songs in the opening route anyway. You've got Lon Lon, you've got Saria's Check, which is pretty near Goron City, and if you take the time to go adult, you've got the Windmill 2. Any of those could be Zelda's Lullaby, in which case you can just clear the whole lot at once. The issue with going in is you immediately isolate 2 of the checks that you can't see. This is holding off on checking what's on the Requiem song. One thing about getting the Requiem song is it does set your time of day to daytime, so it can be used to make getting back into market nice and easy. And see there, we have Zelda's Lullaby on the Saria's check, so now Exodus can complete the whole of well, as opposed to dipping straight away and having to go in twice.
Yes, with Lon Lon one item, you're going in for the song. You don't have to walk all the way back to the silo.
Hona's song is our All Dungeons song today.
Ooh.
Which is, it's nice. It's not usually hard required. Not usually an indication that All Dungeons is incredibly required, though anyone who played the last qualifier may disagree with me. Synchronized Wolfos Grottos.
Ooh.
And a strength and bomb bag immediately. I have to say, one thing I've been struggling with Season 9 with the starting item is when it is something major like the bomb bag, rooting that in immediately, rooting those things in immediately, remembering you have it, and sort of going out of the regular playbook is something I've found tricky.
Yeah, it can be. It is, especially like what it can do to your opening route and where you want to go. Um, for however many years, there's always been the standard opener, and now anything can change on the fly based on what kind of dungeon entrances you get versus what item you start with, and it bleeds into the information overload that you have at the start of a seed, where all of the hints, all of the entrances, all the meds, then you have your starting item. Which way do you want to go? And it's made for that distinct S9 flavor.
Yeah, Season 8 started the trend by giving random spawns um, in an attempt to shake up the opener, but really, personally, the starting item has done it even more. One thing to note is Ruto's letter being in Kakuri Forest combined with Zelda's Lullaby and the bomb bag means we can access Dongo's Cavern as well as the well. Straight away.
Wow.
Don't
Yeah.
know if anyone's checked the pedestal yet, but that's a hasty route if it comes to if Dodongo's Cavern has a medallion. Yeah, Exodus, known for tricks. At least I know them for tricks. I always use his fire arrow entry setup. And before the race, I watched him spend the 20 minutes before the race practicing increasingly niche tricks, such as side hopping from the balcony in Forest to the island, just in case you need to be in Forest Temple as a child and need that test.
I very much have Exodus's fire entry bookmarked. I have that set to the side. I think I have one of his Bomb Chew Shadow Temple strats to the side. Anytime it comes up, I'm like, I know how to do it, but as a security, let me bring this up to the side to watch it again.
Yeah, try go find his YouTube channel. It's full of, as I said, increasingly niche tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Through identifying what's in Jabu there. Dongo's Cavern is the fire medallion, so I would expect to see our runners completing that dungeon before we go to adult.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be putting off adult for a decent while today.
Between the child DC, the bottom of the well, for sure. And it is I think it hasn't come. I don't think it came up a lot in quals, but I feel like in the few 1v1s that I've watched so far, the Jabu DC has come up multiple times now. And before they got their seed and their practice time, Exodus was practicing the child jumps in DC without a slingshot. So that's one of those things where you practice right before you play, and it's going to come in handy again.
It's going to be increasingly important for Drooness, as if they do fail to sling this jumps, they will be mocked mercilessly by the AMQ players. And yes, so generally most players, at least in the top 32, don't bother marking the dungeon entrances. They just flash it up on the menu, press print screen, and then the next time they need to, yeah. The next time they need to, they're doing a backwalk or something, they'll just stick it up in paint. Or take a photo of it on their phone. Something like that. Tool assisted run. Okay, so getting a dead hand hint kind of renders everything I said about waiting until you have Zelda's Lullaby completely useless, because those are the 2 checks that are a problem if you go into well without Lullaby. There is not just foolish hints. You have 2 foolish hints, but you also have 2 important item hints, which just tells you how many items there are in an area. They got the hint here that Lon Ranch has 1 major item, which means only the song is there. Both checks are going to be dead, which Exodus is going to check the known dead item. Maybe it'll pay out. Just a blue rupee. It couldn't have been Furor's Wind. No, that counts as a major item. Really, the only useful items there could have been Hylian Shield or a pack of bomb cheese.
Almost done. Big check. Big chest and river. Yeah, Nairu's low.
And a big chest on the Child Hand of Spirit Temple.
Let's see here.
Will we see Exodus doing my classic mistake of going into Spirit, doing the dungeon, and then forgetting to pick up the song?
Yeesh.
We are seeing our first trip into the bottom of the well. Exodus A has all the equipment to do everything in it. Another bomb bag. And also knows he can skip the dead hand. So it's going to be a nice, quick bottom of the well today. Our runners are splitting up, but I think once Exodus has finished the well, he'll be going straight to Dodongo's Cavern, and once Drew is finished Dodongo's Cavern, he's going to be going straight to the well, so I don't think there's really that much variance in route. So I didn't mention it, but shouts to Drew for getting using the chicken to get into domain from the right side of the waterfall. It is faster, but it's a lot harder than it looks, and a lot harder than doing it from the left side.
Now, why is it faster? Just because like you don't have to go all the way to the left to jump over? Or?
Yeah, when you're walking up the route, you go round to the waterfall from right-hand side. So it means you don't need to go all the way over to the left and then set up to jump.
Okay, that's cool.
It is, but the right-hand side is lower down, so you've got a lot less leeway for your angle and where on the slope you jump.
Mm-hmm.
Left-hand side is a lot more forgiving.
And Exodus did not get to read the dead hand hint, so we'll be doing this room.
Fortunate, but dead hand is long. It's not a long mini boss. Especially if you can get this jump slash. Like that. Seed is currently exactly 0 bad. We are 12 minutes in and haven't really got that many items. It's got the ability to get into the Jabu entrance, which is Dodongo's Cavern, which we can complete. But we haven't seen enough of the game to know if it's bad or not. Dungeons we do need.
We've seen Nairu's Love, double defense out the way. That one major item in Haunted Wasteland, you know, gets a little bit stronger when you get these types of items out of the way.
Yeah. However, it could just be the third bomb bag.
That's true.
Rogue's too dead. That is one of the concerns when you have Epona's song on Ocarina of Time. And the well coming up empty today. Other than a bomb bag, which didn't really do much since we started with a bomb bag. We're preemptively opening the skull.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people do this because you peek the chests above like where bomb bag is, and if it's not a big chest, then you don't even have to worry about doing the whole set of, you know, jumps or whatnot. You just jump down and you go back and you go towards the, you know, Dongo.
Yeah.
Evolve.
There are two chests in Child of Dongo's Cavern, the vanilla bomb bag chest and the one on the bridge above the skull that you would need to go through the upper loop for, you know, past the second Lizzlefoss fight and the two slingshot puzzles. Luckily, they are both peekable, so you know whether you need to actually do that or not. Yeah, so we do have a couple more half hints in our recent stones. We have Temple of Time to Volvagia. What was the Shadow and Spirit? Shadow and Spirit medallions are Morpha and Bongo Bongo. Probably pretty deep. So I would think it's more likely to be the stone. And no, the well was pretty empty today. Technically not foolish, because we had a bomb bag, but there was a second bomb bag. Yes, a hook shot in Dodongo's Cavern. That's going to be nice, because your next step after Dodongo's Cavern is probably going to be completing the well and then doing the hook shot, and then going straight adult, at which point you got a bomb bag and a hook shot. Pretty much the whole early game has opened up for you.
Because at this point, with the opening and what you were able to get done, there's most of, surprisingly, we're like, what, 16, 17 minutes in, there'd be like most of your Child 1 completed. We're going to see Child Market here by Exodus. You could check Castle Ferry. You'd have, what, Darunia, Goron City Pots, and those are in your spot if you need to check those. And I don't know of much else. Jabu, I guess, but Jabu is a stone, so we don't want to go there.
Speaking of stones, the Mirror Shield in Bumchu Bowling, Spirit Temple is a stone today, so we're hoping it's not required.
Yo,
And our
both
second
shields.
shield. There is the Deku Tree. So the Hylian Shield is slightly buffed in these settings. It is a bit more important than normal because having Adult going into Deku Tree as a possibility, and it's required in this seed. Oh no, it isn't. No, that's a stone.
No, it's not. But yeah, if you needed to go there, though, Deku's in water, so you'd be doing it as Adult Link. You need the Highland Shield.
Yeah, as the Mirror Shield just breaks the nuts that the Deku scrubs shoot at you. Exodus doing the rare third Bumchu Bowling. The first two rewards in Bumchu Bowling are random checks. The third one is always a pack of Bumchus. So it's nice to have Bumchus. It is a required source. It's a little slow to pick them up, but if you really want Bumchus, it's as good as you're going to get. Especially since you don't need to keep money to buy a shield anymore.
Exodus probably use them for the same thing Drew used them for in DC, just to open the eyes.
Yeah, Drooness is very narrowly keeping his shield there. It is unfortunate that we're not going to see any flingless strats today, as they are always fun to watch.
Ooh. Alright, well, that's always a...
Strength 2, and Spirit Temple is accessible. We have a bomb bag to get past Link to Goron. Actually, we've got Bolero, so Spirit Temple is immediately accessible. We've got Zelda's Lullaby, we've got a hook shot. We have the ability to get there as child. Exodus has bomb choose, so it can get even further into child spirit out of logic. Yeah, we have the strong chance of being able to complete Spirit Temple. We've got a mirror, we've got 2 strengths, we've got hookshot, we've got Zelda's Lullaby. We have access to get there as a child. Key dependent, we can get everything. It isn't what you really want to see when it's a stone. Chance to loot. I mean, it's a chance to get a good chunk of items. It is the densest dungeon, tied with Inside Gan's castle. But it's also a chance to lose a lot of time if you go there and there's nothing there. Strength 2 is in the north of Hyrule Field, in the grotto. Well, if it's Medallion, then it's very interesting. All my fastest seeds, I'm pretty sure, have had Spirit Temple as, like, the first dungeon. If not first, the second. Makes for a very interesting seed, very interesting route. A little scarier when it's a stone.
We're gonna have them retracing their steps. Now Drew will be doing Market. Exodus heading up to do Domain and Dodongos.
Yep, just swapping routes here. Even if they look very far apart, they really aren't. They're just trading tracks.
I missed that Jabu foolish the first time, and that's a stone Jabu that's foolish. So that's a good one.
Yeah. You're even less likely to need Epona Song in Season 9, as we do have some new tricks legal. And one of said tricks is crossing Gerudo Valley with just a hook shot, so it's not like we'd need to look for a long shot either.
It'd be interesting to see if like the logical complications of Epona's song come up, just only because like you have the early access to Spirit to be able to beat it. The GTG entrance is Forest Temple, which is our Forest Med, which is a progression dungeon. The runners themselves would never actually need Epona's song for anything other than HBA, because we've even have Big Pose as hinted as nothing right now. But if you have that logical implication where it's like a logical AD, sometimes that can turn on, stone dungeons or things like that where you're looking for items.
Speaking of the Forest Medallion, we do have Shadow Temple Path to Volvagia. Now, considering the other Volvagia hint we've got is Temple of Time, which contains a song, I would not be surprised if that were either Nocturne or the Song of Storms at this
Ooh,
point.
yeah, that's a good point, yeah.
As we need Nocturne to access Fire Temple, but having had that hint, we also need Song of Storms for it to get into Shadow Temple, which is in the well. I have to say, knowing you've got 2 songs required for a progress dungeon, it is nice to have had your all dungeons hint early. A very fancy bumchu bowling strat there from Drew. Normal setup is too plebeian for him. Both runners just enamored with bumchu bowling today. This is our 5th bumchu bowling. Yep, still no reason to go adult yet. You're running out of child ideas. One of the ones that does come up, a little bit of a niche idea, especially for Exodus having picked up the bumchus, is to go into Child Spirit. See if there's any keys there. If there are keys, you then climb and do the fire checks, at which point you can fully clear Spirit Temple. If you'd want to or not is a different story, but you can do it. There is indeed a lot of checks. It's 14 items. I'd only with Inside Gans Castle as the dungeon with the most items. It's sounding like Inside Gans Castle is going to be quite late today. For Season 9, your win conditions: to build the rainbow bridge that gets into Gans Castle, you need to pick up the light arrows, the shadow medallion, and the spirit medallion. So today that would be getting the light arrows and beating Water Temple and Shadow Temple. And then it's 6 medallions to get the Gans boss key. Forgot to finish the thought I had.
And Drew's gonna do bottom of the wall now.
Yeah, both runners just clearing all the dense areas in Child. And why not? Why wouldn't you? You might as well. Bottom of the well is fully clearable, and when I was measuring it about a year ago, is by not a particularly short margin the highest check per second ratio of any dungeon. Got 11 checks in it. Takes about the same amount of time as the Deku Tree. For Drew, even more, having seen the Dead Hand hint. Where does Spirit rank in there? Below Child Dungeons, exclude Jabu. So Deku and Dodongo's Cavern are high up on the list. They might only have 7 seconds each, 7 items each, but they are short dungeons. Spirit Temple has the issue of being split across child and adult. It's still one of the faster dungeons. It's a very hard one to measure in seconds because, you know, you might be able to do all of it as adult. You might be forced to go child. It might be split in half. And we don't know our skulls yet. That is a point. Someone looking for skull hints in chat. Not having gone adult yet, nobody's been to Kakariko. So do you stop picking up? Do you not pick up skulls as a child and hope for the best? Or do you just collect as many as you can? The thoughts that you might need 30, 40, or 50.
I always will, get the early ones just for 10. And I would say, at least in this season, we haven't been to CAC to read those yet. We did get the CAC path hint, and when you get a CAC path hint, because that can turn on like 20 skulls, for instance, you're a little bit more inclined to collect skulls before you even read the hints. So it kind of affects your decision making a little bit there.
Yeah, at the very least 10. Thing is, Bongo's locked behind a Song of Storms. Kakariko has a Sphere Zero song. Um, there is the idea that you just pick up the skulls that you're not going to ever go near again, like the one in Lon Ranch, one or two of the ones from Dodongo's Cavern, and then just hope for the best when you go adult. Because you can pick up the Hyrule Castle Market skulls whenever you want, that kind of thing.
And speaking of, here we are, 30 minutes into the seed, we get our adult one from Drew here.
Straight away, pick Bolero to pick up the song. Will we see a dip into Spirit Temple?
Ooh.
We will not. Following the song chain. Bolero gets you a song, that song gets you another song, and gets you what's in Forest Temple today? Water Temple. I doubt we'll be seeing a trip into water.
Not yet, anyway. No, yeah.
And preluding, we're gonna see standard Kakariko trip now. Back into a regular opener. We are very movement heavy, but not song check heavy. We've only got one child song, and we're all but one from adult warp songs. Is Drew on time? I think so.
Never a doubt,
Never in doubt. I'm sure he had at least 3 frames before it turned to night and he had to forsake a handful of Kakariko checks. Yeah, we do know where the Sun Song and the Epona's Song are, being on our 2 ad song locations. Epona's in all dungeons. Sun Song behind the Forest, Fire, and Water medallions. 30, 40, and 50 dead. So at max we are going to 20 for that path-in. So we are looking for an item for Bongo Bongo and Kakariko. That was our path hints. There's our first item, fire arrows. We do have an item in the Haunted Wasteland. Yeah, and it is Song of Storms. It was expected to be Song of Storms, really, just because there's less variance for where songs can be. It wasn't guaranteed. Especially when we had another hint that could have pointed to Bongo being a song location. Light Arrow's also in Shadow Temple.
Okay.
Way our seeds lined up so far, we are rattling through the song checks. We were down to, what, Prelude and Ice? It's already incredibly strongly hinted that Nocturne is on Prelude. Which would leave Arias in I. It's know all your songs 34 minutes in.
Yeah. Have to
Well,
be...
of course, dependent on what's in here.
Yeah, well, this is going to be what? Saria's or Song of Time, and then the other was going to be in Ice. So this is Saria's Song of Time is in Ice.
Make Ice particularly tempting. Although it is available early, it's in the Dodongo's Cavern entrance.
And we did empty a bottle already to do it.
Personally, I think I'd be putting it off until I was struggling a bit. And now Exodus turned to head adult. Let's see if we'll get a Spirit Temple dip from him. Say, this seed, on the plus side, you've got a lot of items and a lot of options. And on the negative side, you have a lot of options.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like, at least right now, there's any, like, funneling. Like, I feel like a bunch of the S9 seeds have funneled you in one direction, and we do not have that.
No, this one's going to come down to, unless there's shenanigans towards the end, this is going to come down to, micro routings might decide this one. What order do you do your billion checks? Even if you both last location. It's like, are we gonna see it? Ah, no, we're going into Kakariko via Goron City. Get some of these checks in. Which is the other option. Very valid. It's probably the way I would have gone to Kakariko.
Shadow Evolve.
And a third strength.
Huh.
3 strengths already. We really do have a lot of items and a lot of options. And we do know that Inside Gan's Castle is going to be available before we complete the game. As you need to be able to beat Shadow Temple before you can do Volvagia. Yes, that was the third strength in the crater wall. Vextus is just about to pick up. Had to reset the heat timer, or reset your respawn point so you can just void out. Now do we Bolero again and go into Goron City? Another not great. 40 nuts. No risk of running out now. Lake Foolish as well. It's a lovely one to see.
Base sword.
Fury Swords. Doesn't do much for us. All that opens is Foolish Jabu. Quite literally can only be used to get me horse.
It's another one of those things where, like, logically the game has given us the items to beat or access and potentially beat 2 of our stone dungeons. Just, you know, oh, and back of maze. Yo, we're syncing up in the maze?
Yeah, it's happened quite a few times actually that our runners have synchronized, even though they've done pretty much all the same things in opposite orders.
Right?
Like big number 8. We've got a bow. Does that do anything for us right now? It does actually. Do you know what that does? That gives us basically all of GTG in the Ice Cavern entrance.
Yes, it does.
We've got all of Spirit Temple available. We've got all of Training Grounds available outside of the toilet check.
And we can reverse and beat Forest Temple, so that we could get our Forest Med. That gives us
Looks
all
like-
of GTG, all of Forest.
Looks like we're going to be getting that from Drooness. Goron City to Morpha. Well, we've got a bow. We also have all of Child available too. Child Goron City available. Where's Water Temple? Water Temple is Forest. So that's only going to be Iron Boots or Longshot. Or pointing to. No, Reversed Wasteland is not in Logic. Even the tricks that were allowed for this, none of them are in Logic. Fortunate to not have magic, as you are reversing across Wasteland and leaving behind an item. As one of our important item hints today did say there's something in the Wasteland Shrine. Yeah, I mean the next step once you've cleared up the area you're in for Exodus, clearing out of Kakariko 1, is to just go do your progression dungeon, reverse across the wasteland, go do Forest Temple, see if anything shows up in Forest. If not, shrug and pick a different area. It's just your different areas are manifold and slow. You do all of Spirit, or you do all of Training Grounds. Are any of our other dungeons doable?
None of our medallion dungeons, anyway.
Yeah. Longshot being in someone in chat mentioning if Longshot is in Forest, being Psy-worthy. Not really, considering you have a... Oh no, wait, if it's bow locked in Forest, then yeah, that is a Psy. But then again, it does mean that Water Temple's probably completable. The Water Temple is accessible, it's just in Forest Temple. And if you have a long shot, you probably don't need the Iron Boots to complete it. You can just do all the same tricks you would for Gold Scale Water. So finding either long shot or irons puts that in completable territory. And you already know one of them is going to be in Goron, probably in Goron City if it's not in Forest Temple. Or Training Grounds, now that I think about it. That's another batch of Bowlock checks. Probably makes that more tempting than Spirit Temple, I guess. One unfortunate thing I can see is that we are probably about to get double forest.
You know.
Yeah, these things happen. We have synchronized a couple of times. It looks like we're going to get a long synchronization now.
With the openers done, now they're converging.
Yeah. Converging, that's the word I was looking for. X has been the first hand in 10, having done Adult Kakariko at the end of that trip. Receiving anything from 10, but having done it.
I looked away. Did Exodus do adult archery yet?
Yes, I believe it was extra sticks.
Okay, okay.
It is something Drooness might have to come back to if we start struggling later. Looks like we're not going to have to go hunt for the light arrows. They are just sitting in a progress dungeon today. After the courtyard is when Forest Temple starts getting a bit more interesting to watch. We do have a bow in a path location pointing towards the Water Temple. And Forest Temple is the first big batch of Bowlock checks, starting as of the next check, I believe. So, we do actually get something to talk about in Forest Temple, probably. So chat, so chat. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, if nothing here, then you kind of hope at that point then it isn't bow locked, because then we've already seen adult archery, we've seen Forest Temple. You'd have a couple checks in GTG and HBA, and it says if it's HBA, it's no fun for anybody.
Well, it probably wouldn't be HBA. We have the last stones available. In Twin Rova, we can do Goron Route, we can get Goma, probably. We would still need to find Boomerang somewhere for horseback archery to be the bow answer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as mentioned in chat, you can also play Tourney Seeds. That's OOTrandomizer.com. There are not only the Season 9 settings to roll, but many, many others. Ruby, even fancier. knows he's on Restream, has to pull out the extra fancy setups. Can't say I've ever seen that Forest Temple recoil setup. I also can't say it's much faster, but it
It
looked
looked
better,
cool.
and that's what
Yeah,
counts.
right?
I mean, you're up against Exodus, the sort of setup king, so you kind of have to pull these things out. If not against Exodus, against who?
True. I wonder where is Exodus going?
Could be a trip to training grounds. Chasing bow. But I would have thought chasing the bow into Forest Temple would be a better plan. But training grounds, another dense location, and also high up on the list of checks per second. Also, you get the Kakiri Forest Storm Scar though.
True.
I'm trying to bet Boots, Magic, and Slingshot in training grounds.
Oh.
A lot of items in there. 12 of them.
Well, we know that big chest on the Spirit Hand is just Bigoron's sword.
Still, if you got a long shot, that's worthwhile.
True.
I don't know if it's quite worth going fully out of your way for. Rooting in the sunblock room when it might not be the most useful, but we all like Big Orange Sword. 30-minute time save, right? And it is going to be a training grounds dip. It's an interesting play. It's probably better to do with Iron Boots. That way you could get the fountain check as well. I mean, it's not like Forest Temple's paid off with any items yet.
Yeah. Exo's staying more in logic. Is it technically Forest Temple's not in logic yet?
It is not, and that's probably the other reason you wouldn't do it. Here we have another different setup.
See, it's fast. I like that setup.
It is. There is another even faster setup that uses stabbing the wall that I saw posted somewhere. A YouTube video from sort of 2 years ago that people only just started looking at. Doesn't work. I can't get it to work, therefore I refuse to believe that it exists. It's like box skip. If I can't do it, it doesn't exist.
That. Amen. Amen. That's what's up.
There is a decent chance that Forest Temple would be in logic if you go Childgorn City. Having a long shot there puts Forest in logic does make a lot of sense. Here is a Bowlock check, though. Blue Po always has the goods. There's Dins.
Ooh.
Interesting as a path to Morpha. I'd hold off on thinking that's the path fulfilled until we start looking into Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
We do know Shadow Temple is path to... Shadow Temple's path to Volvagia, so... we may see if there is... something in the trap room at the end of Shadow. I am thinking. I may have to buffer right now because I'm engaging my brain.
Hmm.
We have a path to Bongo. Ignore me. I've finished thinking, and the answer is no. You should hear it when I think. It's like someone using a typewriter. It
Oh.
chugs for a while, and then it goes ka-ching at the end.
Whoa. Oh, with that sink, I missed what was in that big chest.
Zone of Agony, I believe. I think I saw one of those.
Oh, was it? Okay.
I think I'm struggling a bit as well. I'll refresh my view.
Yeah, we'll do that too.
I am now seeing Drew on Meg and Exodus pulling out a hookshell.
Yep. Okay.
Here's another 2 bow checks. Oh, our training ground's not really paid off, and we've gone through most of the checks. Don't know if we've peaked the maze yet or not. I'll be honest, I was looking at Drew's stream. Oh, this is us peaking the maze, and there are 2 checks deep in. 2 checks, 4 and 5 keys into the maze. So Exodus only really needs 1 more key. And there's 1 on the right-hand side of the maze too. We know Song of Time at this point is probably an ice. Ice is completable, which isn't really what you want to see because you would have to walk a long way to go do ice and then walk a long way back here.
Yeah, it did not feel good.
So what you're looking for here is 7 keys. That way you can reach all the big chests in the maze and get yourself to the right-hand side out of logic. Considering there's only 1 check that we cannot do, I don't think I saw 2 keys on the right side of the maze alongside the big chest. I think that is very doable. Hope there isn't a key on the way. Okay, we're at 5 keys. We'll see if there's 2 in the maze. I'll be honest, I wasn't really paying attention. Oh no, we're perfectly safe. You didn't open these 2 keys. See, there's the sort of micro-routing. You haven't checked the maze yet, so you shoot the thing, 2 keys fall down. A little micro-routing here that sort of makes people top 32 is then not to open the keys. You do training ground as normal until you peek the maze from above, at which point you know whether you want to pick up the keys or not.
Yeah,
As opposed to me, who sees keys and the monkey brain goes, open them, open them, open them, open them.
Yeah, same. That's what I was just about to say. Better than me, who definitely would just be opening those chests.
Is anything going to make this worthwhile? Magic!
Yeah.
I would consider that worthwhile. What was that? I think that was a bomb bag. No, not a bomb bag. I think that was just a pack of bombs. The Valley Crate. believe that was a recovery heart.
It was that or a red rupee. It had that pink or reddish to it, so I don't think it was anything that really mattered.
Well, this actually works out quite nicely for Exodus. Having picked up magic in training grounds before crossing over to Forest means he can do the Haunted Wasteland Shrine and find out what's in there. You've got 1 out of 3 so far in your guess of what's in training grounds. Gonna be hard to get 3 of 3 when there's only 1 check left. It's going to be interesting what's in Haunted Wasteland. And yes, as noted in chat, it was as we expected. It is Nocturne in the Temple of Time. It was just going to be that. And we've got Nocturne, we've got Dins, we've got Magic. It's going to be the hammer in Shadow Temple at this point. Are we really missing at this point? What medallions do we still need to get? We still need to beat Water Temple, beat Shadow Temple, and beat Fire Temple. We can get into Shadow. Really, we're missing the hover boots. That's about it.
It really is the hover boots and then long shot or iron boots to be able to, you know, do things in Water Temple. And other than that, based on where the Volve hints and everything else goes, you're gonna find your hammer in Shadow Temple along with your light arrows. So that would essentially put you in a go mode if you can get to hover boots and hover boots, iron boots, or long shot.
Yeah. Although, as noted in chat, the bow in Haunted Wasteland is bow locked. So you need a bow to use fire arrows, and Din's fire was bow locked itself.
Interesting.
Well, that's one step towards knowing the bow in Pathgorn City would be a required item. Because we mentioned bow leading to things, there are bow checks in Water Temple. So it might just be the bow for the sake of having a bow. At which point your water completion items are just somewhere. Actually, it's worth saying, we've kind of brushed over saying irons or long shot. For those who might not have watched Season 9 or recent weeklies, there was a new trick discovered sort of November-ish, I think, that allows you to access Morpha without the long shot. So functionally, to beat Water Temple Dungeon Entrance Randomizer, we need the long shot or iron boots at this point. With the only difference maker being, is there something in Central Pillar? Asking if we know nothing's in fire. There might be some stuff in fire, but it's gonna be hard to have anything in fire because it's a very late dungeon in this logic.
Yeah, we should be in go mode. We should be in go mode by the time we enter fire.
Should. There might be a Water Temple item in there.
True.
Unlikely. It could. We're seeing Child Spirit here. Weirdly enough, for the sheer number of items we've found, Child Spirit is still out logic.
Mm.
To being one flash too late at you.
That's true. No slingshot, no boomerang.
Yeah,
With
chat
that key,
mentioned.
though, out of logic, we can climb.
Yeah. And we might see Drooness do that, as they do not have the magic. See Extus go in, then he gets to bail immediately after doing the 2 child checks. He can come back Snaddle and just do the torch checks here with fire arrows or dins. Spinning Grounds was 4 key locked in the maze. Well, 6 keys, logically. This is a conscious decision by Drew to go into Spirit Temple rather than Training Grounds. There are sort of 2 correct options after finishing Forest Temple, because you have 2 incredibly dense locations available to you, and you just have to pick one. For all we know, there's a second magic in here. Can anyone remember if there was a key on either the Scarecrow chest or the Eye Statue in Training Grounds?
I don't remember if there was a key on one of those, but with the double keys in the lobby, your magic is almost certainly bow locked.
Yeah, it would need one of those 2 to be a key to make magic bow locked.
Mm.
Once you're at 3 keys bow locked, yeah, once you're at 3 keys bow locked, you're mandated to have at least one of those to get to your 6 key magic. So that might be our bow direction. Magic Locked Spirit? Yes, it is Magic Locked Spirit. I wouldn't say massively Magic Locked.
And Drew, at least from their tracker, they don't have the hands hint that Exo has. So actually, Drew playing towards the big chest up here makes this a little bit more of a, I see what they're going for, but he's just gonna end up with a big Goron sword.
Yeah, a shame, but you know, it's not gonna go amiss. It's not what you wanted to see, but you're gonna get use out of it. We see Drew doing Child Gorn City?
We did not.
Or was that the hint that he skipped?
Oh, yeah, because Drew has the Volvagia the Temple time, Volvagia Shadow Temple, Bongo Cac. Does not have Goron City Morpha. At least not written down on his tracker.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what's there. Like, with our child spawn being in Goron City, I can't imagine Exodus will put it off that long. Especially with the age change cutscene being gone. Yep, 1 hour 9 minutes for Burning Cac today. We're making good time. We still need to do Shadow and Fire, and they can bleed time away. No end. Again, they have split up, but they are just trading checks at this point. Yeah, this is a good play from us. Heading into Shadow Temple, you're only able to do the first 2 checks, but it is a path location. And you do already have a bongo hint. So maybe our hammer, or potentially, yeah, maybe our hammer is just right here. The first 2 checks, and we don't even need the hovers yet.
That would be interesting. It'd definitely open up more places that hovers could or would be.
Due to hint shenanigans, it wouldn't be the hovers, but it could point to our, no, actually, if the hammer's in here, you would just have a hammer. It would be nice to know.
Plus, there were multiple quals where the first 2 checks in Shadow Temple turned out to be something. So, like,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of qual bias in this as well. Fortunately, nothing but the small key here. We're going to get what the rest of. Okay, we're gonna go up Crater first. Maybe we might get the rest of Spirit for some reason. And actually, Drew hasn't gone to the top of Crater yet. Doesn't have Strength 3. Unless that's what we're about to see right now. Okay, yeah, we're pulling for that.
Has to reset the heat timer.
Okay.
Both our runners getting double defense, deciding that's good enough for me. Not bothering with getting extra hearts for increasing your heat timer. Especially not when you get a bottle that early. I'm taking it quite fine though. Yeah? Gotta say sorry.
Just give me a shield flick. Just give me a shield flick. I'm sorry. There we go.
Sprint 3, not particularly useful. Right now only opens 1 check, but it's better to have than not to have. Drew is gonna get... Oh, missed the stab. Missed the second stab. Not the third one. Although, they're now out of cheese. Well worth it getting these extra nuts. Shuffling the Amy puzzle.
Ooh.
Amy sanity. We'll see what Drew does now. Will it be a trip to training grounds, or will it be completing the rest of Spirit Temple? Because while you've done half of Spirit Temple, it does mean that it is now less dense. And Training Grounds has overtaken it as far as number of items. So as we're seeing, I wouldn't be surprised to see doing Training Grounds before you go into Adult Spirit. Which is kind of what we're seeing.
Where was the Goron Nemorpha path hint at? Do we remember where that was?
I don't, but I'm sure our wonderful trackers / chat do.
I'm wondering if it's one of the ones that's on the way here that Drew
know that Drew
may
skipped
read here in a moment.
I know Drew skipped the hint in front of King Zora. I think that was a Shadow Temple to Borbagia hint. Granted, I don't really remember this morning. Earlier in this race might be an issue too. I know Drew did check the river hints. One before Dodongo's Cavern, one after Dodongo's Cavern. So it isn't either of those. See what that is. Not seeing what's on the iceberg or on a freestanding normally means that it's a pack of arrows. Couldn't see that peak either, but it wasn't a shiny item, therefore it might be useful.
Exodus thought about picking up the wallet and then said, nah, I'm good.
I mean, there's an argument for picking it up. You've got 4 hearts, and you need to do Fire Temple. Oh, wait, Excess is 5 hearts and a bottle. Actually, that's a lot nicer position to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Because at 5 hearts, the fairy is a backup rather than sort of a mandatory thing like it would be for 4 hearts. As I really don't think you can do the block push onto the block push elevator with only 4 hearts. I don't think there's enough time. So the interesting thing now is on the left-hand side. What is Exodus gonna do? The child trip. It's gonna be Child Goron City into Child Spirit, I would expect.
That's about all there is left for Child, but getting that Goron City cleared out will be huge.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see Ice Cavern as well. having those blue fire arrows and the magic to use them. Well, we know the song's probably not useful. It's still 3 items. Now you can get them, 4 items. Now you can get them quickly with the blue fire arrows. For all we know, we're still hard locked in Water Temple by the Song of Time.
Or not.
No, it is what we're going to see. Just
Okay.
we could dip out to do the magic / bow lock check in the graveyard. Why not checking Ice Cavern for Exodus? There's more tempting things. While Ice Cavern is available and is a bit faster than normal, you also have a Spirit Temple is available. Athgoran City is available.
Knowing that Song of Time is what's in Ice Cavern, it's not even really worth it for the song. It's not really going to get you much of anything.
I was about to say, like a late chickens check for Exodus, but we're only 1 hour 20 minutes in. Feels like we've done sort of 2 hour 20 minutes worth of content, but we've managed to fit a lot into the first 90 minutes. Oh, did Exodus not open Shadow Temple? Okay, this makes sense, because this is something you're required to do. Yeah, here's the save quit. So, we get to see whether it is the bow or not. As far as I'm aware, we've only seen 1 item in Pathgoran City. We have 2 more checks. One on Darunia and 1 in the Goron pots. Playing Sarias as close to the torch as possible.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Ooh.
Boomerang. Available foolish. Ah. Yep. After all, Forest Temple's still out of logic. Forest Temple is now in logic.
That horseback archery getting a little bit more scary.
I wouldn't even say that. All Dungeons has just put Forest Temple in logic. We still can't cross the wasteland logically. Except now, that boomerang puts it in logic. Which gives us Dins. Which gives us... what was Forest? Oh god, I've switched tab. I've lost the tracking information. my powers have faded.
What are you looking for?
It was the Forest Medallion, so Song of Storms is now all dungeons locked.
Right.
So unless the long shot shows up nice and early, Water Temple might just be Song of Storms locked, which opens a lot of stuff. unlocked the stuff that we've already done via all dungeons.
Feeling long shot and shadows. Yeah, maybe Shadow just has everything left for the seed.
Yeah, except the hovers. Good luck finding these hovers.
Yeah, if we think the hovers are before... No, because all dungeons and logic.
We already had all the items for Spirit Temple within the sort of first 30 minutes.
Technically, we don't have all dungeons just yet. We would actually need those iron boots or long shot to get into Deku Tree.
That's true, it is in the water entrance. We should be guaranteed an Evil's Bane hint. Should. Yes, we should, because at the very least it's going to be hover boots. And we can guarantee that because we've got 2 Volvagia hints. So we know they're are less than 5 paths. One of them has to be Evil's Bane. Yeah, you could go digging for it.
You know, Lake is foolish.
There are 3 hints though.
Oh, we're looking for the hint. I'm sorry, I thought you were talking about the item for a moment. And just watching the runners converge in adult spirit again.
Again.
Well, not in adult spirit, but converge again. This is kind of... They keep, like, intertwining and weaving back and forth and ending up in the same places.
Yeah, we're bouncing back and forth.
It's made their routing... It's like watching them... You know, it's... in a way, it's kind of almost like a synchronized, like, swimming type thing. They're going in different directions, but then coming back at certain times, whether it was in the Goron Maze or right here in Spirit Temple, with the same items, looking for the same things, but they went different ways about it. They're like dancing around each other. I don't know. It's been
great mechanics.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
So, an Evil's Bane hint is same as any other path hint. It points towards picking up the light arrows. So we know the light arrows are in Shadow Temple. It is an always hint in the Dampe hut. Read his diary. As an adult, he tells you where the light arrows are. That could give us the hover boots, information on where the hover boots are, or information on getting into the Deku Tree, if it is a logical all dungeon seed.
Let's see what we get right here. Oh. Third bow.
3. We do know light arrows are Song of Storms locked, therefore they are locked behind going across the Gerudo Valley bridge. And it looks like all of the Spirit Temple big chests were hiding on the adult side. How many keys were on lower adult side?
I don't know, did we even see one? Well, yeah, we had to have seen one, because...
Yeah. There were 2... There was 1 key on child side, and then there were 2 magic locked. Which means if there weren't 2 keys on lower adult, that bow is bow locked. Because you need the bow for fire. You use any type of fire. So it does look like both our bows are bow locked. So it could still be the could still be the bow in Goron City this path. To answer chat, Din's fire was bow locked in forest, which means you need bow for either using fire arrows or to pick up Dins to use fire. Which is why that bow in Spirit Temple is bow locked. Thank you, Spirit Temple key logic. I had to make a color-coded map in MS Paint for Spirit key logic. Even then, no one else understands it.
No, the document exists. You can read it, and sometimes you come out with less information than you had when you started.
Yeah, and then it uses the word superimposition, and I go do something else.
Oh, here we are, and nope, just wallet 2.
Thank you, Ink. The map was worth it. Yes, sorry, I missed that question in chat. Asking if the randomizer is softlock proof. Yes, there are many, many, many lines of JSON within the logic to say what you need for each check. And during the generation of the seed, the randomizer makes sure that all of your checks that are required are needed. And in these settings, it makes sure that every check is accessible in one way or another, no matter how tortuously long or convoluted. Are we gonna see a twin? Nope, we are not gonna see a Twin Rover fight. Very fair decision. Slowest boss. The third bow was in the mirror push room, the start of Adult Spirit, with the invisible floor master. I'm a bit ahead of stream. Okay, I will F5 again. Already got that. Drew has just picked up a skull token. Am I ahead? Oh, there is something interesting. Exodus pushing the mirror.
Yeah.
Are we seeing an All Dungeons play? That's perfect timing for Drooness, picking up those blue fire arrows on the way into Ice Cavern. Stock should you buy? Put it all on silver. Please note, I am not a financial advisor, and may or may not be sabotaging you. Bitcoin's down. Buy the dip. So we know that it's it's really quite likely that this is a logical All Dungeon seed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why the Boomerang in Goron City could well be path. It might still be the bow, but It's always concerning when you get all of the items for Spirit Temple within the first 35 minutes of the seed.
Mm.
You have to be thinking, oh, it's happening again.
You see it's a stone, you get everything for it. And you know it's too dense, so at some point you're probably going to end up there anyway.
Yeah, and then you see Jabu's also foolish. Jabu's foolish, and it's also a stone. Of course it's required. Just not having the most polite first phase of Twin Rova. They're splitting apart quite a lot.
You're turning a long boss fight into even longer. Ugh.
To say, I don't want to offend anyone, but the first phase of Twin Rova is quite easy to manipulate once you've done it a few times. You see regular speedrunners do it quite a lot. You can speed this up even if it is somewhat RNG based.
Ooh.
Say sorry. Definitely not a damage recoil.
The ground jump off the keys.
Yeah, I'm
Just
joking.
had
So that isn't a damage recoil, that is resetting your falling state rather than a recoil.
Yeah, there was a discussion about it, I think last week or something.
Yeah.
It's no different than getting a ground jump from the bomb, so it's allowed. It's very fancy. I like it.
It's somewhat similar to Water Hop. New trick in Water Temple. It's about resetting your falling state. Bringing you from a position where you wouldn't normally grab a ledge into a state where you would grab a ledge. And there's a slingshot. It was all worthwhile.
What?
Oh, looking forward to Target in the Woods being summoned.
Oh my.
It's going to be a long time until Exodus does that, and it's probably going to be an even longer time until Drew does, unless another slingshot shows up.
You're gonna get our OGC check though.
Yeah, it's been available logically since about Sphere 2. Drew's also started speeding up the Skull Collection. It does make sense, Kakariko is path to Bongo Bongo. We've already fulfilled that path with the Song of Storms, since Shadow's in the well. It doesn't mean it's not got a second item in there, though. Drew will be the first. Yeah. Will be the first to 20. And we're going to see it right now. Let's just set it to night by going into Outside Gans Castle, and you can get the canonically last skull on the roof across from the Skull House. Canonically last, if I remember right, the manga has Link killing the final skull. Basically behind, on the roof of the Skull House. If I remember right. I've never read the manga. I'm not a weeb. we are still missing that last path hint. That path would tell us quite a lot about the seed, one way or another. They do have Serenade, and there are 3 hints in there. An extra minute to go get those 3. Yeah, I mean, that's the risk you take. You're spending an extra minute to go find the other path hint. There's no, we know it's going to be pointing towards the light arrows, which is something that we want to have. It's going to be, could be pointing towards the hovers. There's no guarantee it's not going to be pointing towards something earlier in the chain that we've already done. Yeah, there are plenty of items that could be hinted. Yo, we might get Market to tell us, oh, the mirror shield is on Bumtube Bowling. That kind of thing. Could be. The Dongo's Cavern to Evil's Bane, that is a thing. Childgorn City has been checked, and that is where we found the boomerang, to make things even worse.
I'm wondering if that's what Drew's going to do soon. Drew doesn't have the path hint, but is kind of running out of things.
Yeah, and I mean, Childgorn City isn't as bad as it historically is, because you have your child spawn in Gorn City.
Mm-hmm.
Or what is normally a painful vector route. That's a fun hint. That's a fun hint. Zora Tunic on the Water Temple boss key. Doesn't matter to us because we've seen both wallets, but it is a fun one. Actually, you know what the funniest thing I can just think of there is?
There it is. There's Kukri Forest to Bane.
Who was it? There we go. Alex, you showed up like 10 minutes ago, dropped that bombshell, then pissed off.
Oh.
They can enter Deku with a hook shot. But one of the key things they're missing is whatever item would logically allow you to get in. What's that? More magic. Magic lock magic. Kakiri sword was... Jeez, where was that?
DMT Storms?
Yes, it was in the song, the Storms Grotto. Which Exodus hasn't done, but isn't really orphaned. He hasn't done ice either. So you loop in that check whenever you go ice. And you know, at that point it's a sort of 5-item block. It's not like last location territory. It's still too early to say it's horseback archery seed. There's plenty of game left to play, and we know there's plenty of reason for it to be all dungeons just to cross. There's a lot of stuff locked behind crossing the valley.
All sorts of things. This is not copium yet. No copium here.
You're right that there is a lot pointing to all dungeons, but there's plenty reason that isn't horseback archery that all dungeons is a thing. I don't know what go-to is, but I assume it's 2 from go mode. There we are. Here's the first parts of logic, here are the iron boots.
Ooh.
Gold scale locked. Very fun. But what's that? Yes, that means we can now beat Water Temple out of logic. But kind of more importantly to me right now means that the 7-item block of the Deku tree is now in logic. You do look at Deku, but you look at Water Temple first, because that's all progression. There might only be 4 items in here compared to the very fast 7 in Deku, but yeah, you need to do this anyway. I mean, Exodus is going Compass first, so it doesn't look like he's wanting to spend much time in here. You only really do Compass first when you want to get the boss key and leave immediately after beating Morpha. The light arrows are in Shadow Temple after the hover boots because we've already looked. We've already looked in the start. Now we know Water Temple, we know the boss key chest of Water Temple does not have the boss key, so this is completable. If it's in the central bow chest, it would be annoying, but I would assume Exodus knows that trick.
Yeah, you can shoot the eye switch from above, right? Like that's what you do.
Yeah. It's sort of pixel shot to electric boogaloo. You stand right up next to the central pillar, right on the edge, and then you've got a couple of pixels worth of the eye switch that is available to shoot with a bow, and then you just jump down from the level above. The fun part is you have to do it twice.
The thing that may suck is if boss key's on River Chest, because then Exodus would have to double dip, leave here, then go to Ice Cavern, then pick up to get Song of Time to come back. That's the only place that he would not want to see boss key, really.
Yeah, that would suck. No, for Roar's Wind. Roar's Wind is lovely when it comes to Dungeon Entrance Randomizer. Shame we don't have it. This really doesn't feel like a seed that's only been going for an hour. 47. There has been a lot done in this amount of time.
All the items thrown at us, and the way that, like, we've seen 2 halves of the game completed with their intertwining routes. We've seen so much of this seed. It's just kind of, 2 runners this good. It makes it just a lot.
Speaking of runners being that good, yet another Exodus setup there.
Yeah, here we go.
ESS turns. Pixel shot 2.
Making it look way too easy.
Yeah, I mean, I've done this trick quite a few times before, but I've never done it with a setup. It's just, squeak yourself on to the edge very slowly, hope for the best. And then you have to do it again the second time. Yeah, Exodus is making it look super simple. I can't help but point out we are running out of spaces. We are running out of chests for the boss key to be that aren't the river. This was one of the tricks, or one of the things Exodus was practicing in the 20 minutes before this seed. Trying to see if he could do central pillar chest with only 3 hearts. Which I can confirm is possible. I'm not going to do it again, but it is possible. Requires very careful use of the air timer reset. Ooh, it isn't the boss key. What? It's a big chest down here.
Hmm.
I will point out something that did occur to me earlier. One of our wallets was bow locked, and the Zora tunic is in the Water Temple big key chest, which may be behind Central Pillar.
Imagine.
So it might be the bow in Gorn City's path for wallet logic.
All right.
Ah, do you know what that means?
What's that mean?
It means the Zora tunic is locked behind Central Pillar. But the bow is required to get the long shot. Here's our path.
Got some jokes.
There we go. Well, I'd say great, now things make sense, but I kind of preferred when they didn't.
Life was easier in the unknown. Gosh.
I'd say it's a good thing we don't need. It's a good thing we don't need long shot to beat Water Temple anymore. Otherwise, it would be even longer before anyone did that.
Mm-hmm. Here's the bow to get the, and Bo got the wallets, but the one wallet was on Phantom Ganon, which is all dungeons. So it's still logically all dungeons to get the second wallet to buy. So this long shot is still all dungeons locked logically.
The bow and the boomerang are path.
Oof. Yeah. Oi.
See, guys? See, gang? I did tell you. There's a lot of stuff that's all dungeons locked that isn't horseback archery. No, one wallet was in Spirit and the other was on Phantom Ganon. Not being burned too hard by not having picked up those irons. Not too far behind in picking up.
Gonna need to do Ice Cavern though.
Oh, and
Or no, have we seen Dragon Chest?
Do we go see Dragon Chest, or does Exodus just rush Song of Time?
Hmm.
Oh, right. You go do Dragon Chest. You've save quit. You go do Dragon Chest. If it's not that, then you quit out to save the water level, and then go do Ice. So we are seeing Dragon Chest. And if it's not there, just an immediate quit, followed by Nocturne or Bolero. I still don't know which one's faster when you want to get into the Dodongo's Cavern entrance. And Drew's also in water.
As far as progression's concerned, Drew can catch up because Drew has Song of Time. Won't have to reset to come down, to reset the water, to do all this other stuff. If it is on Dragon Chest, he'll just have it.
Yeah. Alternatively, if he does Dragon Chest first, the boss key is there, you might miss out on the long shot. So I guess we can work that out when we find out whether the boss key's here or not. 50-50. Yes, today the long shot is DLC. It's not required for anything. But we can note that having it is useful information because it solves our paths. And yes, bad news for Exodus.
Yeah, that'll give Drew time to catch up through here. There's still the caveat that Drew doesn't know about the Goron City path. Well, he may be able to, like, get some of that himself, but that does mean, like, you know, if there is the HBA that we keep talking about, you know, Exodus did beat Twin Rova.
Yeah. Or if it's on Target in the Woods. Still haven't seen that.
Yeah, Target in the Woods. Twin Rova gave us their only slingshot we've seen. Ooh.
I think the other question is, does Exodus do all of Ice? Or do you get the song and bail? Well, you've got a ice arrow, you've got a blue fire arrow, so you do the compass room. Do you do the map? Or do you just get the two in the side room straight for the song?
I think you could just go straight for this song. I think it's an easy, like, or it's easier to convince yourself that you're not going to find hovers in here, because if hovers were in Ice Cavern, you know, the seed would have been solved a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something that you could, like, convince yourself or meta yourself into or out of.
I mean, either way, you've got blue fire arrows, so you nip into the compass room under the freestanding.
Exodus is getting the skulls here as well, probably. Alright, yeah, we're collecting the rupees, we're doing everything.
Yeah.
Three.
To be fair, I mean, I'd have been doing the compass room first, but... This really is a Twin Rova's difference, yeah. As we said when it happened, it's a slow boss. The slowest boss. One benefit is, though, or one nice thing, small mercy, is that with Water Temple being in the forest entrance, it is the fastest dungeon to enter. Yeah, you minuet, you turn around, you hook shot. If you're me, you then hook shot again because you missed the first time.
Yeah, I've been there.
Then straight in. That is another little chunk of time Drew has over Exodus, is the remainders of those skulls. Drew's already hit 20, Exodus is now on 16, well about to be getting 17 on this one. How long does it take him to loop those last 3 in? After all these fancy setups, and you're doing bomb jumps in the ice cavern. Think of the
Just like me
restream.
for real.
Just like me. Oh, saving. No. I was about to say, avoiding both keys and cursed it. Ooh. What does Drew do next? I think there's only one answer, and it's Deku.
Yeah, you just go to Deku.
Like, where else is there? You know? What could have the remaining item?
Yeah, you find nothing in Deku at that point. You don't need the path hints anymore. You're just gonna do all dungeons.
Yeah.
What's left? Gosh, what's even left in the seed? Like after Deku, we've seen GTG, Ice. We've seen all of our dungeons that we can clear so far. Did anybody do the first check in Fire Temple for funsies? Like you have
No,
first
no, we
check in Fire Temple.
haven't dipped fire, no.
Yeah, first check in fire, slingshot target, HBA,
Yeah, but then
Decantry.
you've got Nocturne is path to Volvagia, so it can't lock the. Because of shenanigans, I'm not going to get into depth on. Nocturne doesn't lock completing Water or Shadow.
Mm,
Pose was a sometimes hint today, so while
yeah,
outside of that, yes, it could be. Not today. You kind of, if you're an Exodus fan, you kind of are hoping for horseback archery here. If it is, he's at a good advantage, as they're both going to last location that, and he is a twin rover ahead. Rue has done Spirit Temple, but bailed after the boss key that was in the very top chest.
it is interesting that because Drew didn't know about it, Drew did pick up the Vigoron sword that Exodus skipped. So like combat wise, Drew will have faster fights.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's squeaking ahead with time. Especially if this is a last location seed. It's something to say for these runners, and really why they are in the top 32, is that they are pretty much at the last location in the game. And it's 2 hours, 2 minutes. Yeah, the game gave you all of the items at the start for routing. You started with a bomb bag, you had an early hook shot, you had all the strengths available early, 5 warp songs. It's entirely, to get to the last location, it's entirely how well are you using these items. What route do you take with all the items in the game? And the fact that they've both managed to be neck and neck at exactly 2 hours in, pretty good.
It's like you said at the start, it's really gonna come down to the micro routing decisions here. It just makes it fascinating. Top 32 1v1s, like all of these races and main tournament season are always just fascinating. It's from an entertainment standpoint, from a student standpoint. If you're trying to learn anything, like, this is just fun to watch right now. And immediately big chest and Deku Tree. Huh!
Immediately.
Wow.
The guys told you horseback archer is dead. That is a big boost for Drew there.
I'll never
And
doubt
again-
you again.
And again, still pretty much Twin Rovers at the time in this. And the hammer is here because we've pretty much run out of items. It could be that aren't the hammer. People saying that should be GG. No. It's Drew's game to lose, but this really isn't that much time. There's nothing for Exodus to do that isn't serenade and get the hover boots.
Yeah, Exodus should be immediately heading to Deku Tree right now. So, like, what? Entered at 2:03 something? So at most, Exodus is going to be, what, 3 minutes behind? Maybe?
I'd say less than that.
Yeah, literally a Twin Rova fight difference.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't a particularly friendly Twin Rover fight. First phase had 2 or 3 missed shots. Remember, both of them have done the first checks of Shadow Temple as well, so... Yeah, it could have been a different story if he'd gone straight for the song. And there's valid reasons to do both, in my view. I wouldn't have said it's a bad play to skip the rest of Ice, or skip the map chest in Ice at least, but... Not too much to say. Go Mode Shadow is pretty much the same as Go Mode Forest, as in you just do all of it. So we're getting a second round of double boring temple. Oh, look, there's another slingshot. Remember, there's light arrows in here as well, so we've got 2 items to pick up. So I timed when Drew made it into that sort of room with the BMOS. He's about 2 minutes ahead.
Okay.
It's ahead, it's not comfortably ahead. It's Drew's game to lose, but there's a lot of scope to lose it.
Yeah, you have to continue to play clean here in Shadow. And the further in the boss key is in Fire is more execution that you have to, continue to play well in. And with 2 minutes, every mistake you make, Exodus can inch right up onto you.
It's the last bomb back. It's Go Mode Shadow. Every single item's a big chest, and none of them are the ones you're looking for. Yeah, they both use Virtual Console because they're tryhards. I'm mentioning another benefit. Drew does have Big Oron's sword. Really, that's a few seconds time save on Bongo. Maybe an extra 45 seconds to a minute in the Ganon Tower climb and fight. Provided Exodus does perfectly with a Master Sword. Well, there's one of our 2 items we know's in here.
Mm-hmm.
Just the hammer left. Because there's no routing time save for Exodus anymore. It's entirely gameplay. You can't route Shadow any differently.
No. Ooh.
There's the hammer. Drooness, the first runner officially in Go mode, but we've kind of known where everything is for a while. First one to get the lovely Go mode button pushed. Drew, if you have to apologize to Oak anymore, I'm gonna think you're not taking it seriously. We got every item. No, we haven't
We
had the
did it.
Goron best item.
Ooh, yeah.
We don't have Goron. We don't have the Goron tunic, that's true.
Scarecrow. I know Drew got his Scarecrow song. Did Exodus ever collect on that?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
And second runner, probably should have been timing how far ahead Drew was. There we go, 12:26 when he entered that room. See if they've gained or lost any time.
I've seen Exodus make a couple mistakes. This is probably lost like 15, 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And another one.
Well, I guess that answers the question. Exodus did not get the second Scarecrow song, second half of the Scarecrow song. So we'll be losing a little bit of time there as well. Using the long shot on the Scarecrow is the fastest way across that gap. It means you don't need to care about the cutscene. Yes, so the hovers were right at the start of Stone Deku. Accessible the scales again? I kind of stopped paying attention to the scales. One of them was nice and early. I just can't remember where the second one was.
Oh gosh, I remember. It was in GTG, wasn't it? It was the right side GTG. Yeah, Inco, thank you. Right side GTG.
And the first one was, I think, in an early dungeon. So yeah, the hovers weren't that deep, all things considered. Training Grounds wasn't that deep because you got Bum's Lullaby and Letter early. Song of Time, even earlier. So yeah, the hover boots were in Logic quite early. Deku was in Logic, and as I was about to say, going to Deku at any point is kind of unhinged because you need to find those scales and decide, you know what? Maybe you want to show off that you can get in with Hookshot and Gold Scale. Not the easiest trick. It's the new Pixel Shot.
We have the Pixel Shot, the new Pixel Shot, the other Pixel Shot in Water Temple.
Pixel Shot but bow.
Yeah, huh?
Who would have won this seed? Would it have?
Someone might have done it in a qualifier, but I don't think in a 1v1 situation nobody would have done that.
Even if somebody had done it, would it have made that big a difference? Yes, it was our last item, but by the time it was our last item,
you still needed to go everywhere. The only place that you didn't need to do anything in was bottom of the well. You needed to do Ice Cavern to get time. You needed to do GTG to get Magic and Gold Scale. You had all of Hyrule Field to get those Iron Boots. Well, your dungeon progression. So there's not really like a lot that could have been skipped, I guess.
Yeah, they didn't really spend much time looking for hovers. They had other items they were looking for. If you had picked up the hover boots, you'd still be looking for stuff. You'd still be looking for the irons or long shot. You'd still be doing this or that. So yeah, really this has come down to small decisions, with doing Twin Rover being the key one. And even that's not a bad decision by any means. As if it was horseback archery, or target in the woods, or whatever the other one is, or Twin Rover itself. You know, that would be a painful orphan for Drew. Just a calculated risk. When you're top 32, that's kind of what Rando's all about. The skill level has got really quite close together. Top 32. There's not a huge amount between them all.
It's very much, you know, in NFL terms, an any given Sunday type deal. Anybody can beat anybody at any moment here. So, like, if you think, like, you take that calculated risk, you don't do Rova, that's your game. And, you know, sometimes that may be what it takes to, you know, squeak out a dub here. And, like, it is double elimination. So, like, you know, it's not like the loser of this is out just yet. But you get your first win before your first loss. You know, not having to immediately play in like the lower bracket definitely helps your mental a little bit.
Yeah, the way the tournament is designed, that even though the group stages are best of one, it's still designed in a way that everyone gets at least 2 games. Everybody gets to take a loss. And does anyone want to guess where the boss key is? Because I think it's the map chest, because it's always the map chest. Except when it's the hammer.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah, just right there.
Yeah, that's even less gameplay for Exodus to win back time on.
I'd say that pretty much comfortably puts Drew in a good spot. He's How many chews do we have? Like, what's the strategy for the Volvagia fight? Are we gonna get a fairy? Yeah.
Yeah. 4.5 is cutting it tight. 5 and Bigoron's sword I can see doing. Just because you know you will be able to do it first try. You don't need to give yourself that extra buffer when you don't need to lay as many bombs. Yeah, this is theoretically a comfortable lead for Drew, but it would be far from the first time at any skill level that minutes were, that, 90 seconds, 2 minutes was lost during the Ganondorf fight and Ganon fight. One miss in the Ganon fight that could knock you down to the bottom, that could easily be a minute. Having a bad couple of rolls in the Ganon fight, and then he starts spinning around, pushes you around, you get tilted. This definitely isn't personal experience, but... Yep, and Volvagia would be another boss that has cost many minutes, but having picked up the fairy meant it was a pretty safe bet. You're being extra safe there with the Navitalk strat. Lets the blue warp. Normally you need to wait for the blue warp to fully spawn in before you can use it. But if you ask Navi to tell you how to beat the sort of skinless skull of Volvagia, the blue spawn continues to go into place while your heat timer's stopped. I believe pulling out the ocarina also does the same. So if you ever end up with 2 seconds left on the heat timer after beating Volvagia, there are ways to get around that. You don't need to wait the 3 seconds for it to become active. Next, let's get Control Hold. Without Bigoron's sword, that is an annoyance. Double Troll Hold. Okay, this is...
Navigated it well, though.
Yeah, pulled it back. That is not as easy as it looks.
No.
It's not too hard to get the pattern of Volvagia down. It's harder to do it when she pops out that front hole once. It's definitely not easy to do when she pops out of the front hole twice. This is the other spot where Drew is gonna push ahead. Having the big Goron sword gets you through those Dynalfoss a lot faster, and through these, through the Dynalfoss and through the Stalfoss even faster, and maybe not quite as fast as the Stalfoss, but still very fast through the Iron Knuckles too. Isn't as fast, or isn't that much faster on the Ganondorf fight, but it's just so much safer only having to hit him 5 times.
Yeah, it makes it easier to get that one cycle.
Yet again, Season 9, Zygan's Castle being useless. It feels like a lot more seeds should have Ganon's Castle making a point. Really hasn't happened much for me.
No, yeah, it hasn't. It's I don't know if it's just like a strange coincidence or like just a byproduct of the settings where even though it's made in a way to open, it just doesn't typically have what you need.
Well, speaking of things that haven't happened, I've been playing a lot of pickup races and the qualifiers, and I'm about to start the tournament, or Challenge Cup. I still haven't had a seed where Spirit Temple was in the bottom of the well.
Oh, yeah, no, I've had that.
Feels like it should have happened, but it just hasn't. There's only 5 possible locations for it. Surely this 1 in 5 chance should have happened. Yep. Drooness making good use of that big Oron sword. Very clean Ganondorf fight. You only need 5 hits. It's not to denigrate him, but it's nice and easy when you've got Goron sword. I do enjoy having a large sword for Ganon. And a perfect time for Drooness' stream to buffer.
Right? Oy.
I can only imagine he's doing really well. Okay, and the stream's back up for him starting the fight. It's only the cutscene we missed. The Twin Rover fight, unfortunately, was not worth it. And I think even if Exodus had had a good first phase Twin Rover, still would it, he'd be in the Ganon fight right now, but I still think Drew would have been ahead. But then you can say that about some of the decisions Drew made, that if he had taken a different stance, he'd have been even further ahead than he was. And ZSR bot jumping the gun slightly because of Drooness' stream buffer, but GG's in the chat. for Drooness, finishing with a time of 2:28.28. Nice, pleasing number. And I think we will be seeing Exodus finish out the race just because, you know, he's on Ganon. Again, they were 2 minutes behind in going back into Shadow Temple. 2 minutes behind at the end of the race. Really, it just shows the skill level is that close when it comes to execution, at least.
It came down to those micro routing decisions you talked about. Even if you want to, even Twin Rova aside, if Exodus had potentially gone straight for the song in Ice Cavern, or had done Ice Cavern a little bit earlier, I don't even know if the Twin Rova would have mattered, because Exodus would have had Water Temple done before Drew still. So there's a couple other things here and there that the way they went back and forth was pretty insane. The way they intertwined. And speaking of, I think they're both in here.
Hello.
Hey, Exodus, GG.
Just saying, perfect time for Drooness' stream to lapse.
Hey,
GG.
GG.
Error. GG. So, how did the seed feel to you?
It felt alright for me until, you know, the last item. Yeah, it was tough to find the irons. But once I got that, I was basically in go mode. But yeah, I was just in field. Yeah, I had a few random things around the world, and I had Ice Cavern in field, and I just chose to go field. But yeah, Ice first would have been nice to have the Song of Time, for sure.
And the stream has just caught up, so while you're here, I will say GG for finishing with a time of 2:30.37. Drew's not in the call yet, so that is one reason you won't be able to hear him, Sponge. I was going to say something.
Wonder if Drew's internet died or something.
Oh, I mean, Drew managed to buffer only 3 times during the race, and at least managed to kill Ganon before his internet's completely gone. But that's distracted me from what I was going to ask you, Exodus. Sorry. This was a really close race.
Yeah.
You basically did the same checks for the first 90 minutes in the opposite order. So while you did well, Drooness did Dodongo's Cavern, and then you swapped over, and then met back in Goron City, and then you each did the opposite, and then met up again in Forest, and there was a nice symmetry to the routing. The sort of 2 things that came down to were Drooness going to Ice Cavern first, as you mentioned, and didn't do Twin Rova.
Okay.
And speaking of, welcome in, Drew. GG's.
GG's, thank you.
GG.
GG.
Yeah. Insane race to watch. What did you think of the seed, Drew?
I hated it. It's just one of those weird seeds. I don't know. You just do the first 3 dungeons immediately, and then it's just dead for an hour and a half, and then you do the last 3 dungeons. I don't know. It's just so
were
long
missing out
without
on
finding an item.
information that kind of made things I don't think you ever found the Goron Nemorpha hint.
No.
Yeah, so I think
sure the
that it was
Goron
one of the
Nemorpha
things that potentially saved you, because it was Goron City had the bow and the boomerang, which were both path. And I think that might have been what led Exodus to fighting Twin Rova when you didn't. And then you didn't know that and in another, you didn't know that the spirit hands were Big Goron sword until after you had it. So that was also hinted, and that was a check that Exodus skipped.
Yeah, I was pretty sad to see that hint afterwards.
It was.
I don't know. I saw a big chest up there. I was like, I'm gonna go get it, I guess.
It was just from a spectator standpoint, as we were saying, it was like highly entertaining because you and Exodus would like go in different directions. Like if there were like two paths in front of you, you went right, Exodus went left, but then it like you know converged back into each other, and you two would sync up in Goron maze, and then you'd go off in your different directions and do different things. While you would be an ice cavern, and uh, Exodus would be in GTG, and other things would be happening, and then y'all would converge when you both went into Adult Spirit Temple at the exact same time. It's like, oh my god, like, and the way everything was, Exodus was ahead in Water Temple until needing that Song of Time. So like you could say like either needing the Song of Time or like the decision to fight Twin Rova, or really just about anything. Because like when you have 2 minutes separating in a seed, like y'all played insanely close the entire game.
Yeah, I guess that's like even though we made different decisions, it was kind of one of those like I don't know. It wasn't even like a do everything seed, but like you just end up doing everything because you're looking for shit. I'm guessing it was the irons for both of us that kind of
Yeah.
gave us trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It's one of those seeds where you get all of your items for routing at the start, and then it's kind of, well, good luck. Here are the bombs, the
Yeah.
hook shot, 3 strengths, go.
And we're kind of like adult early-ish and like for a while, I guess. And like I didn't want to
Yeah,
go do like lake into field because I didn't have lake set up from child. And then like after I found the foolish, I'm like, okay, well now I just like don't want to do field ever because it's just like 4 checks
yeah, it
in
was like a
field or whatever.
35-minute child into an even longer adult. You got
Yeah, you couldn't
Zelda's
really
counter
do
path as
field on the
well.
way to. You couldn't really do it on the way to GTG. I mean, you could, I guess, if you hook shot across, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
wasn't
When
trusting
you've got
myself with that
Requiem,
today.
why?
yeah, I guess I could have done that. I think I maybe should have done ice before doing Dark Link Loop because of the bow path, I guess. I'm not sure. But yeah, maybe that should have clued me in that it was going to be River Chest because I'm not sure the bow really led to anything else for Water
Although
Temple.
the bow did lead to something,
What did
like
it
the
lead
long
to?
shot. The bow is path because it locks one of the wallets, and the Zora tunic is on the boss key chest in water. So you
Oh,
need
nice.
both wallets to get the long shot. So the Goron City, the bow and the boomerang are both path, one for wallet logic and one for a not required AD. So
Okay, and also for the river chest, I guess. But
yeah,
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 so
that's true. The river as well.
so there were multiple things. So yeah, I guess if I had figured that out, then I wouldn't have known, but I didn't figure it out anyway, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, as I said, there's wallet logic and logical AD. It's muddied up the path hints quite a lot in this seed, unfortunately.
Yeah, that path was really confusing, but yeah, I was thinking it was for spirit key logic, I guess, because there was a key magic locked and Din's was locked by bow. But I guess it was just, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I think the bow just locked all three other bows, and so that's it.
yeah,
The bow locked
yeah. It took us a while
the other
to
bows and your fire sources.
Yeah.
awkward logic, and unfortunately, just pulls you further away from field.
Yeah.
But really, other than that, there's not much to say about this seed other than you got everything immediately except two, maybe three items. Do either of you have any last thoughts on the seed before we talk about the next races and wrap up?
I don't, but GG's and good luck against whoever you're going against next. I'm not sure.
I think it's being
It's
decided by like a match that's on, right?
Okay.
it's not decided yet. It's between Flush or Weighty Words.
Yeah.
And Exodus, you will be against
one of them as well, I
Yeah,
think.
one of them.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, GG's. I knew it was close when I finished because I was like, I did everything. There's no way. Like,
Yeah.
other than
It
like
was
Sora,
something
though.
it was something that I was saying earlier, is that it kind of shows that the skill level of the top 32 over the years has got that much closer. A, because you both basically did everything and still finished in under 230, and B, you you both did everything and finished within 2 minutes of each other. The skill
Yeah.
level's really narrowing.
Yeah, I think everybody in
Um,
top 32 is scary. Like, when I looked at my matchup, I was like, fuck. Like, that's so rough. But I'm looking at, like, friends' matchups and stuff, and it's like, oh, well, I would hate to be that guy too, or I would hate to be that guy too. Like, everybody in top 32 is just so scary.
the first thing you think is, oh god, why did I have to be in group 4? And then you look at 1, 2, and 3. Well, can somebody who's in chat who knows the commands for thanking people put them in, please? I should know by now, but I don't. Um, yep, thank you to the two of you, Exodus and Drooness, for letting us restream you. There are your links. Go follow them, chat. Thank you to Viva and Baseball for tracking today. Without them, I would have had no idea what any of the paths were, where any of the items were. It's just generally what was happening. And thank you to Lefty for commentating alongside me.
Hey, thank you for having me. It was a good time.
Yeah, there's a lot of names in the chat there. Go follow them. Baseball, who are we going to next?
Are we just gonna go
What a
to the
great
other stream?
question.
The other stream you are restreaming right now?
Am I restreaming right now? What a coincidence. Floosh and Weighty Words are playing right now and are being restreamed on ZSR2, and they just started. So we're heading over there.
What incredible
And then
personality is restreaming?
yeah, crazy. I am overwhelmed. But it's soon just gonna be one restream, and it'll be fine. Okay, I'll see you in like 2 seconds over there. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.
I